Good morning. Hi, my name is Natasha. I am the creator and the founder of the Glow Up Method, and I'm so freaking excited to be here with you today. Oh my goodness, here we are. Again, I had this whole just epiphany about how I'm not going to be a part of the 7 a.m. club, and I'm putting all this pressure on myself. And yes, it's something I want, but I'm just tired and I'm up too late, and I let it go. I was like, listen, this is like, it is not that deep. Maybe this isn't the season to be a part of the 7 a.m. club. When you have more time, you can join this club. It's always available. And I just let it go. And would you freaking know it? Like when I finally surrendered and just was like, just let it be. Whatever is meant to be will be meant to be. I'm a member of like the 6:45 club, like not even the 7, and I wake up feeling refreshed. And I'm not saying that it's like I'm like, hello, like I've had like a jolt of coffee or something, but I don't feel this like sense of I need to go back to bed. I didn't set my alarm. My body is just naturally waking up and really creating this space yesterday. Everything is a work in progress, right? We are all living this game of life. And the really cool thing is, like, Milton Bradley didn't make up the rules. Hasbro didn't make up the rules. You get to make up the rules for your game of life. I get to make up the rules for my game of life. And they're always changing. Like, they are written in pencil. They are not set in stone. There is a way to go back and be like, this isn't working for me. Or you know what, this really is. Or you know what, I think I can challenge myself a little bit more here. And so I'm just so excited to be creating these new rules to this game in order to make progress. Like, my goal isn't to get to the end and win. My goal is just to enjoy the game, right? It's not like I tell my kids all the time, I love playing board games with them because there's so many lessons trickled in there. You can tell so much about a person's personality when you play a game with them. Like, is it just about like being cutthroat and getting to the end, or is it more strategic? Is it more luck? Like, it's a really interesting thing. So define your thing. And so today I took off the board behind me that you've seen for the last few days, and I really wanted to explain it. And so I've been really wanting to make progress on the business, right? I'm ready to launch, but I'm not ready to launch, right? So like mentally I'm there, and if I could just get over all the fundamentals and foundational things, like the logic part of my brain is like, get this in place now, and then you'll already have a library full of videos, and so you'll be able to focus on, the more important things for me personally, which will help the community here, and continue to build it and make adjustments and create new rules and toss some other ones and change how the rules are applied. So I say all that to say, sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, I did nothing. Like, I start to doubt myself that I didn't make any progress, and then I'm just wasting this time and energy, in a sense, criticizing myself and not having something tangible to hold, right? So I'm not making a product where I can suddenly hold a prototype in my hand, and I can go back to the videos. I've got a whole phone full of them, right? But I also I'm I just filmed, that's the standard. That's not anything extra. In order to make this a success, I need to be going the extra, which means I need to be putting in more time than just the 30 minutes of filming. And so what I did was I wanted to keep myself on track, and I wanted to hold myself accountable. And I'm really good, I've learned, with visual cues. So when I want to make a new change, what do? Okay, when I want to do dry brushing, I left the dry brush on the counter. I just left it on the counter. Yes, was it always like perfectly clean. No, but every time I went in there, I thought about dry brushing. And it was in the morning, I would dry brush. If it was in the evening before my shower, I would dry brush. Why? Because I saw it and it reminded me when all the 55,000 things that are just running rampant in my mind, anything from, succulents to sweets to, anything that is just spinning in there. I all of a sudden saw that and I was like, yes, I would like to do that. And then I started doing it, and then I would do it more and more and more. And now it's still pretty much primed. It's, it's in a basket and it's tall, so it's kind of hanging out. But it's in there, not hidden away, as a reminder to do it. And so for me, creating this board that was pleasing to my eye and with my rules, right? Like, you may think this is too busy, too colorful, too much, whatever. But I just want to share what has worked for me, because maybe it will work for somebody too. And it helps me to keep going on those days where, like, everything in your body wants to quit, right? Like, we have these days where we're starting a new habit, right? We're going to the gym. And, we're gung-ho in the beginning. It's so exciting. I love it. I'm feeling the burn, and, I can tell things are happening. And then you keep doing it and you're like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. Like, the excitement wears off. And now we're in the gym. We hop on the scale and it's at a standstill. Worse, maybe you gained weight, or maybe you lost a pound or two. But, like, your expectations of what going to the gym and what results and outcome you were going to get didn't match up. And we want these immediate gratifications. We're accustomed to it. We, immediately have a recipe. We want to research something. We immediately have that information available. I mean, gosh, I'm old. So, here we are. When I would want information as a kid, I'd have to walk my little butt down to the library. I would have to open up the card catalog. I would have to go, use the Dewey Decimal System and go find where the book was. And the book was gone. Somebody else checked it out. You go over to the desk, you put a hold on it. So when it returns, you can now find this information. We had to have patience, right? I didn't have a car. My dad was working. So, I was young anyways, so I'd have to walk there. I'd have to bike there. Like, there wasn't like an Uber I could just call and be like, take me to the library, life was a little bit slower, which required us to have a little more patience, right? And so as technology improves, our patience seems to diminish, right? We want it and we want it now. And, the thing is oftentimes the most successful change we have, it doesn't happen overnight. Right? Like, this is a trial and error. I am sharing my 7 a.m. club journey with you all because I'm a human. And what I might think in my brain as like a great idea, I often don't see all the underlying issues within my soul that are subconsciously running, that are in a sense sabotaging this very achievable thing, as displayed by me when I released, when I surrendered, when I broke down and broke through what the heck was going on. It's not like I slept till noon, so I'm asking for a 7 a.m. I would at latest sleep till 8, maybe a 9 on a really one-off, but like, I woke up early anyways. And it was just that whole mental thing of it. And then realizing how much of that time, once I woke up, went immediately to something else. It wasn't Natasha time, even though I felt like, oh, I'm doing my morning routine and I dry brushed and I did my daily dose of dysregulation in the shower and I did all these things. But it was like my mind was already consumed, even in those moments that I didn't have my phone, with something my phone fed me. And so, making this no phone zone morning is a challenge. Like, even this morning, my son wasn't feeling well yesterday. His throat was irritating him. Allergies for him typically will, like, if he doesn't stay on it, it will like go from allergies to a cold. And so, I'm pumping him with stuff. He's sleeping, all this, all the drill, right? When you're not feeling well. But immediately this morning, it's like, is he okay? Did he text me last night? And lo and behold, so I did check that because I'm still a mom. But then the fact that it was in my hand, I saw myself clicking on the email button. I started to read one and I was like, no. And I literally threw the phone on the bed. I was like, no. See how quickly we go back to this habit of ours, right? Like it's just a default setting habit. We were using our right hand here to navigate this life. But I'm saying, no, I'm changing the rules. I was playing a game in which I allowed society, my parents, my religious beliefs, everything else dictate how my game was played. And now that I've turned 45, and I'm over 45 now, because like I said yesterday, there's like the, everything 45 before, that was like before rebirth. The 45 after is like after the death of that girl. Because like I've been just trying to, in less of better words, kill her. She was amazing. She did incredible things. She had courage to do like the impossible. So I adore her. I absolutely adore her. She raised 4 kids halfway on her own. I mean, let's be real with her. So, I did a lot. I started a business. I helped my dad's businesses. Like I lived a lifetime of things. But it was all with the wrong intention. And I didn't know. It wasn't like I'm like, I have the wrong intention. I'm going to live my life like this. No, I had no absolute idea because I was just a little like robot just following what the rules said I was supposed to do. And when there weren't the rules, I anticipated what the rule makers wanted my life to look like or expected them to look like or would make me advance in the game, meaning I had community and friends if I was who I thought they believed I was supposed to be. Even when inside of me, everything is saying, no, I don't want to drink. No, I don't want to go here. No, I don't want to do these things. But I felt in order to be accepted and in order to be loved, in order to be a part of a community, and in order to play the game, that's what you had to do. You had to silence those sounds on the inside and say, no, these are not the rules. You need to be quiet because you're getting in the way of my rules. And so what did I do? I silenced myself. I dove into my kids 120%. And that's by 4 people. Like, it is a lot. It is a lot. Like, to give 4 people 120% of you because there's absolutely nothing left. I mean, they probably have a different take on it, right? I only know my perspective and my thoughts about how much I put into them. And again, they can agree or disagree. They have their thing. They're one person getting, a quarter of a piece of mom. And, at times, like I've explained to them, there are times when each one of you need me more. And that's the one I'm going to go to more. Somebody's going through a brain tumor or an injury or, a mental crisis. Like, you need me more. You're little, you can't tie your shoes. You need me more. And when my mommy senses get this feeling or, knowing that this child needs you more, it doesn't mean I love any of the others less or want to spend less time with them. It just is a hierarchy of who is the squeakier wheel in that instance? Who needs the oil? Who needs the attention? And so I tried to be very clear about that. And there have been many instances where I've had the one-on-ones with them. And then there have been many instances where it's like, Calgon, take me away. They get in the car, 4 of them at one time. And it's just like, Bara! There's this song by Bjork. And it was like, it's so quiet. Shh. It's oh so still. That was my life. And then they came in and then it's like, and it's like all this like until, and then all these instruments start playing and it's just chaos. And I was like, I felt like every day was like that. And so I was so distracted and I was so busy, worrying about them. And then as soon as like the worry about them, like was like, say maybe they're asleep, now it was worrying about the business and worrying about our finances and worrying about how the hell are we going to make ends meet this month? It was worrying about Chris and his mental health and whatever mood he decided to be in. It was worrying about my family and their, arguments with their significant others, or their money problems, or their citizenship problems, like writing letters to DACA, like doing all kinds of things to help out. Like, I always was exerting all this energy as a way almost to ignore and just be busy out of listening to my own self. Like I just didn't, I guess, want to deal with it, right? It probably seemed really big. And so now what I dawned on me yesterday, it just dawned on me. I keep trying to think of like, well, why this? Like there's so many things in the world like I could do, or I could, like, again, I've been writing a book for a very long time. I'm writing every day, which again was one of those things where it was like, I want to write a book. And then it was just, I want to write a book. Oh, what do you want to do? I want to write a book. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. What is your book about? I don't know. I just want to write a book. And how many times have you written? 0. None. And finally coming to this place where I, just happened to be going over the Bay Bridge, and I was like, today's the day. Today's the day. I don't know the title of the book. I don't know the premise of the book. I don't know jack, skiddly, squat, dot, tot. But all I know is today I am writing. And I did. I went and did my job, and on the way home, I stopped at Treasure Island, and I'll never forget the day. I was literally sitting on the docks of the bay, and I didn't know what to say. But suddenly, just sitting there and having this epiphany that something that was a thought in my mind was now going to become a thing. It gave me this energy. It gave me this happiness. And since that day forward, I've had to navigate a lot of things. I'd love to go back and read this stuff. Like, I think that's going to be my next project, is to reread what I've wrote. I know there's so many magical dust moments in there, I'm like, yes. I mean, like, I don't toot my own horn very often, but I was like, yes, and yes. Like, I get that. So I have all these amazing ideas. Like, I have all these concepts that, again, I am not reinventing the wheel. This is nothing that no one has said, but nobody has said it the way I have said it. And nobody has the stories that I have or the life experiences I've experienced to back it up. Now, they have their own. You have your own, and they're all very valid and very true. But I'm the one here having the courage to share with you. And why? Here's the thing. Here's what I realized yesterday. That for years, I hid away, right? I told you, I physically hid away as a child. I would lock myself in my room. I would barricade the door. I would then go into my closet. I would open the closet and then find ways, and I would have done it before, like a bunch of toys, pillows, whatever. I would barricade the closet and then push it in through, squeeze my hand through. I would then get in the closet. I would bury myself beneath clothes, toys, shoes, whatever was in there. And then I would even cover my mouth with 2 hands and just try to sit there in silence and not breathe. And it wasn't like I was trying to get into some meditative state. I was trying to hide away. I was scared, and I don't know what I was scared of. I don't know what I was hiding from. I just know this was something I did very often. And it's as if that little girl, 3, 4, and it didn't matter which house. I can think of every house I lived in as a child, and I can remember what that closet looks like. I can remember what that room looked like with the barricades. I can't remember what the rest of the house looked like in all instances. Some I can, some more traumatic, or some, certain things, and it often is a traumatic thing. I can remember the mess in a certain house after my parents fought. I can remember, obviously, the whole area of where, my mom had a suicide attempt. I remember all this, but I really remember the closets. And so from a young age, I really just wanted to hide away. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard. And I think coming to this place where I am doing something every day that makes my inner child happy is amazing. And not only that, it's like my inner child and my outer adult are working in harmony. We are no longer in conflict with each other. I am no longer trying to hide away. And, as the adult, I'm not trying to force her into doing stuff she doesn't want to do. We are working in harmony here. And it brings tears to my eyes to think, I spend every day happy. I really am happy. My inner child is yes, this feels right. This feels good. And so I obviously want to learn how to continue to do more of those things. And you are a part of that. And I just have to say thank you. Thank you for listening. And thank you for seeing my inner child and loving her and allowing her to feel safe enough to emerge from beneath the clothes and take her hands off her mouth and say, no, your voice matters. Your presence matters. You matter. You are important. You are loved. You are remarkable. It's time to get out of the closet. It's time to live this life with these rules that you're making just as you want. And that's okay. And I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm not worried about how many views I'll get or if people will like me. Because I know at the end of the day, I like me. And if I view this because I have to watch it back to upload it or whatever I have to do, then I've been watched. I've been heard. And I'll know that somewhere, some way down the line, that maybe I'll have this curious grandchild that maybe will get to know me and maybe won't. But maybe they'll say, where did I come from? And I think about my grandma and I think about my uncle and I think about my aunts and all those really cool stories that they shared with me that I was like, no way, this didn't happen. How? No way, and I just was so enamored in the moment. And I trusted that my brain would imprint something that was so important to them into mine. And even some stories I heard so many times over that it just didn't imprint because it didn't happen to me, right? Some did, some were extremely, I was like, whoa, and wait a minute. And some stories you hear when you're young, so you don't have context. And, you hear when you're not a parent. And then all of a sudden the stories when they were a parent, you're like, whoa, you did all that. Or you go through something and now, for me, I have this, I can relate back to it. Now I can't forget it. But it's especially when you're young, you're just taking in so much data and information that sometimes becomes a challenge to hold on to every single detail and every single thing. And here it is, from the horse's mouth, people that are related in my bloodline, legacies that I have unfortunately continued and some that fortunately I have, generational things, generational curses that I have also been a part of ending. This is life. This is it. It doesn't just end here with me. So anyways, I wanted to go back. So what keeps me going when, I go to the gym for, 17 days, 16 days, 20 days, the excitement is over. And, I'm really feeling happy and I'm going to hop on that scale because I know I've been going to the gym for over 2 weeks now. So I know I must have lost weight. I feel stronger. I feel better. I'm eating better. And you hop on that scale and you don't have the outcome you want. You don't have this tangible thing to say, okay, I was 300 pounds yesterday or 2 weeks ago, and now I'm only 250. Or maybe you're thinking in your mind, all of a sudden I'm 150. Ain't gonna happen, but okay. Not no surgery even in the world, I don't think, is able to do that. So, we get so attached to the outcome. And yeah, of course we need goals and dreams to, aspire to fill in, so we can fill in how do we get there. But we often put so much energy on the results, so much energy, which is why for me, I threw the damn scale away. I have only been on the scale one time in 2 years, I believe it is. And I was at a doctor's office and I was like, please do not let me see that number. So they were very respectful. They even like on my, post appointment, whatever stuff, they like got a Sharpie and Sharpied it off. Like, thank you. Because I know for me, it's not about the outcome, but there is that part of me in there that I still fight against to say it's not about the number. It's not about how I look. It's about how I feel. It's about what I'm able to do and accomplish in a day because I made these really hard, consistent choices. And so one thing that has helped me personally has been making a 30-day, like blocking things down into like 30 days, because 30 days seems big, right? It's like it's 1/12 of a year almost, right? Give or take a few days. And it does seem big, right? It does seem big, but breaking it down into this keeps it so when I have the doubt that I'm doing nothing, I haven't done anything, I have something I can quickly reference to say, not only here's what you got to do, but here's what you did, and be so proud. So when you have moments of doubt, I have something that I could quickly visually see and say, being drama over here. No, I am doing a lot, right? Like, so even still, like with the workouts, I log my stuff. So when I feel like, I'm not doing a lot, then I look at my steps and I was like, no, I am doing a lot. So we define what a lot is. And it doesn't always mean a lot equals something better. Like, it's just doing something. It's moving in the direction that you want to go. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take systems and plans if you want it. That's the thing. You have to want it. You have to be on it. You have to be willing to take a small action every single day to get there without skipping. No skipping. But if you do skip, it's okay. You can get back on the train. But if you get in that habit of not skipping, and it doesn't mean, that means maybe yesterday I spent 5 hours working on a website. And maybe today it means I can only do the bare minimum, which is 15 minutes. That's okay. Every day doesn't have to be a 5-hour day. And if every day is a 15-minute day, if that's what I write in my rules, then it's going to be a 15-minute day. Just like with my steps. Here are the rules. You're going to do this many steps. You can go back to bed and be depressed or whatever else is going on in your life, but you're going to do the bare minimums. These are the standards of your life. They can adjust. They can change. But for right now, for right today, these are the standards of my life. And so here we are. It's 30 days. I don't know if you can see. Up here it says, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And so what it was, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. I picked 6. I know it's odd because you think you would pick 5 or 7, but it didn't fit on my board. And I wanted it to be aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. And what I did was, not only did I say, okay, here's day 10. I decided for me, because I needed that validation, that remember when I'm going to forget what I did. And so back here is here's what I've done. Oops. Well, day 7 fell down. Here we go. And I was honest. Day 7, I rested. I didn't do anything. I rested. I needed a rest, and I took a rest. But I still, did my other stuff or whatever. But here it says, each one of the things I've done. And then when I peel each one, my past self has given my future self a gift. It says something underneath. I can do hard things. I deserve my time too. I was made to shine. Change is exciting. Keep doing what makes you great. I am important. My voice matters. Progress over perfection. And then day 9 here was yesterday. So I, worked on my website. I got a Pinterest for Glow Up Method, and I got a Lemonade for Glow Up Method. I then stick it back here. So when I have a time where I feel like, oh, I haven't done that much with the business and I turn the board around and I'm like, no, I've made some, look at all these things I've done in 9 days. I have secured a Twitter, secured an Insta. I've made over 200 LinkedIn connections. I have sent emails to the legal for Twitter. I did a coming soon page for my LinkedIn. I worked on templates. I made a Venmo. I started, what was this? An app for something. I brainstormed. I watched other influencers that I really liked. I took a lot of notes. I went to a seminar. These are all things that I did when I think that I haven't made the progress because I can't see it, right? I haven't launched. I am not there. And then after I do something, I get this little gift from the past me. And it was like, oh, I did something. And I really read what I wrote. And it's such a gift to say, yeah, I can. And I can't tell you how many times, these were just randomly written under there, right? Sometimes I wrote a few in a day. Sometimes I was like, oh, this one needs to go on there. And I'll write them under random ones. I cannot tell you how many, and I have no recollection of what's underneath on which day, how many times I've pulled it and I was like, that is exactly what I needed to hear today. That is exactly what I needed to hear. So set yourself up for a game that you are excited to play. I am really excited to play. Here we are. I'm a part of the 7 a.m. club. Like it or not, my body and my mind, they are I always say this dang word, they're conspiring with me here. And I'm so excited because here it is. I did another morning session. I got my schoolwork done. I got my homework done. I did my shower. I did a 10-minute meditation. I've got my filming done. It is not even 9 a.m. I'm going to head to a doctor's appointment. Then I take my both boys to a doctor's appointment, which is going to be 2 hours. So I have already started this day with so many wonderful things accomplished that make me feel alive. So my inner child is like, yeah, we can totally do this. And my outer child is like, yes, we did do this. We are, totally capable of doing these things. So I say all that to say, find something out there for you to do. I feel like this is the purpose of life, is to find something that makes your inner child happy and that your outer child can get behind with too. If you two can work in harmony, you're unstoppable. Unstoppable. And better than that, you're creating the game of life that you are excited to play. So come on, let's play. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you. If you have any other questions about my board or have any suggestions, hey, I'd love to hear them. This just worked for me. Take it and run with it however it is to maybe keep you on track for walking, or, I did a 1-block walk and then you can have that. Yeah. Listen, I can sit here and brainstorm for you, but you are the best brainstormer at the end. The possibilities are endless. But the point is, put it down and do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't. What did I say here? Progress over perfection. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.